60 Minutes with Angela starts right now.
Former ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, otherwise known as the PDP, seems to have its groove back. At least we know now that there are no more factions since the Supreme Court laid that to rest. Now the party is preparing to elect a new national chairman. Why then do a lot of PDP members seem to be defecting to the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, APC? Well, hello and welcome to the program. I'm Angela Ajetumobi. My host today is a medical doctor turned politician, a former member of Nigeria's House of Representatives, and a former presidential liaison officer to Nigeria's Senate. He was also the former National Vice Chairman, South-South Zone of the People's Democratic Party, and the immediate past National Deputy Chairman to one of the factional chairmen, that's Senator Amodu Sheriff. Dr. Cairo Ojougboh, one of the newest members of the APC in Delta State, joins me today on the program. Thank you very much, Dr. Ojougboh, for coming on the program. I mean, I'm sure I got everything right in the introduction.
Yes, you are very correct.
Yes. Medical doctor turned politician.
Yes,
did you ever practice as a...
Yes, I did, but this politics came and intruded. I did not actually set out to become a politician. I used to be in practice and business together. And then on this fateful day, I had to go home from Lagos to Ojougboh. As I was driving back from Ojougboh on my road, the Ojougboh road, the car fell into a ditch. You know this old Mercedes?
Yes.
It used to have what they call swamp, and it then cracked. And then the engine oil leaked out, and they discharged completely. So I said, well, I cannot come from such a village. I will fix this road. So I took my money and then fixed the road. That's how I got into the problem of politics. Then one gentleman called Sonny Nwoloko, who was a immediate local government chairman. When he heard that I had done that, he now came to me and said, look, doctor, you cannot be using your money to work for the people like this. Promote us in politics. Sponsor us. When I become chairman or become something, we can now attract the dividends of democracy. Yes. And such projects will be part of it. I said, look, I'm not interested in politics. He said, no, we don't even want you to come. Just give us money to be hosting meeting. And that was how I started giving him money to host meeting. Yes. After they had 5, 6, 7 meetings, he returned. He said, look, doctor, it's not working. We need you.
Okay, let me cast your mind back to July this year, 2017.
Yeah.
You were still in the PDP at that time.
Yes.
I read you then. You said you were waiting for the written judgment from the Supreme Court and advice from your lawyers before you take any action. And of course, you were also waiting for the PDP in the state and the governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, to see whether they would absorb you or coming.
I wasn't waiting for him at all, because I don't wait for a governor. I don't wait for human beings. I wait for God. God decides what I do. What we're waiting for was to see the written judgment of the Supreme Court, right, which we have seen our lawyers gave us, and we looked at it. And let me tell you, the Ali Modu Sheriff fashion of the PDP is still intact.
How can it be intact if they're preparing now to elect a national chairman?
Because we keep meeting and we keep working together. It is a formidable movement in this country.
Is it true that this movement is being sponsored by the APC? It has been sponsored by the APC since inception?
Not at all. And let me tell you, ask any person that knows me, I don't lie. I'm a soldier of truth. Apart from being a Catholic, the only other body that I belong to is Soldiers of Truth Advocacy International. And I'm the national patron. And you know what we do there? We speak the truth. And that's what gives us honor and glory. And that's what makes us happy. So I always tell you the truth. There is something that makes APC attractable to somebody like me. And that is the simple fact that the problem of this country today is corruption. And that the only way to get Nigeria out of the problem that we have today is to tackle corruption. And the person, whether you like it or not, that has the singular ability, whether he's using it to his maximum or not is another issue, is President Buhari. You will also agree with me that the activities of the anti-corruption agencies since his inception has been quite commendable. You might criticize the method, you might criticize whatever it is, but let me tell you, the activities of the anti-corruption agencies have been quite commendable. Now, the problem is going to the courts. But you can see also that the courts also have readjusted reasoning. They now know that the tribunals, they need to set up special courts to take these matters to, and then that these courts have to be supervised or have to be watched over. Now, that is something new in this country. It's something novel. And because we have always said, we, the progressives in our former party, PDP, because PDP is made up of two arms, the conservatives and the progressives. The progressives are gradually leaving the PDP and going to where their brothers, the progressives, are,
which is the APC.
But those rabid conservatives, they remain there. They are people who want to operate states, and then nobody will ask them questions. They want to operate state budgets that are blank. They give them Paris funds, they want to embezzle it. They give them bailout funds, they want to embezzle it. Their children are to deliver babies, they go to the United States. While in the hospitals where they themselves were born, doctors are still catching babies with candlelight.
Yes.
And madam, let me tell you, at my age 58, things have to change in this country. There's nothing else I'm looking for. If the younger ones cannot enjoy what I enjoyed in this country.
Yes.
I went to school, my primary school in my village, Pilgrim Baptist Primary School in Ojougboh. My secondary school, St. Columba's Grammar School, Ojougboh. I went to the University of Benin. There I read medicine. And the quality of education, when I was in the university, we had classmates who were Indians, who were Americans, who were
coming in.
Who were coming in.
Yes.
We have lost it. It doesn't happen anymore. At times I cry. How did we get here? We need to move this country forward. Some must die for others to live. Yes. Even if I have to die to get this country correct, we have to do so. And look, the only way to do it is to speak. If you don't speak up, if you don't correct this, it will continue.
Some people would argue with you that yes, this president is seemingly fighting corruption, but it has been rocked by a few incidents in the polity. The surreptitious reinstatement, for instance, of Abdul Rashid Maina, the chairman of the task force on pensions. Yes, I don't agree with those who think that the government reinstated him. I think some people there exploited some loopholes to bring him back. But what does that tell us then? That one person is fighting the war. Everybody else in this government doesn't seem to be on the same page as far as the president is concerned with the war on corruption.
I thought, madam, you would have given the president kudos on this issue. The buck stops on the president's table. The moment the president learned what had happened, what did he do? Tell me, what did he do?
He fired him.
Exactly. Madam, please praise the man.
So you joined the APC in September. Some people are saying that you wanted to dominate the governor of Delta State in PDP. That was why you left the PDP when you wanted to come back and you saw that you couldn't take control of the party from the governor. Then you decided to move to the APC. I've heard you use words like suffocate And that they offered you amnesty. What was wrong with amnesty being offered to those who had left and formed factions?
Again, you have also explained it that, you make my job very easy. What offense have I committed that I will be given amnesty?
Forming a faction, is that not an offense?
It is my right, it is my constitutional right to speak out and to form a faction. And let me tell you, let me even explain it even more. You see, multi-party democracy will not blossom if the ability to speak out is not guaranteed in any party. Let me give you an example of what happened.
Yes.
You recall that in the PDP, what we were telling them is that, look, we need to return the party, the PDP, back to the owners. We told them that, look, impunity is killing the party, and it will crumble the party, it will crush it. We also told them that, look, we lost the election in 2015 because of impunity.
What impunity made you lose that election?
And that is it. Let me tell you why. There were things that the party had agreed on, zoning, everything. Now, I can speak out, I can tell you what happened. Yes. I take one state, Akwa Ibom. I was the national vice chairman of the party. And in the course of the congresses for the gubernatorial position, the governor then saw that the list he had handwritten and selected, that list cannot deliver his governors.
Delegates list.
The delegates list.
Yes.
He now took his delegates from Akwa Ibom, took them to another state, and brought these delegates from another state to Akwa Ibom. That was what happened, and that was how he was able to secure his candidate. And let me tell you, that is...
You have to explain that.
Okay.
He wasn't sure that the delegates...
Because he knew that the delegates would vote against the candidate he wanted.
Hasn't the law been broken there, bringing delegates from another state?
Madam, that is impunity we're talking about. Now, the one that is ongoing,
yes,
that is happening now, Anambra State. Do you know what I call sheriff? My chairman for life. When the Supreme Court gave judgment and crowned impunity, the next activity of the party was to select the candidate for Anambra State for the Guba election that is coming up on the 18th. What will PDP do? They now rolled out a program and nominated Professor Jerry Ghana to go to Anambra and conduct the 3-man ad hoc delegates that will lead to the selection of the Guba candidate.
yes.
Governor Wike said no, that he is the owner of the party, that himself will be the chairman of the committee, Fayoshe will follow him, and one other person, I can't remember now. They went to Anambra. When they got there, they took over from Jerry Ghana. They entered their hotel room. They now called P2B, give us your 3-man ad hoc delegates. They gave it to them. They signed it. That was what they now used to elect the candidate. The voting didn't take 30 minutes. At the end of the day, they got the candidate of their choice. Today, Anambra is a story for PDP. And let me tell you, the day they were flagging out their campaign, there were 12 flag of that day. One for the candidate of PDP and one against. The one against was 20 times more than the one for.
Had more people.
Had more people, 20 times bigger. Then the following day, immediately after those dual events,
yes,
the people against the candidate, they all gathered and then gave the party 4 days ultimatum to change the candidate, otherwise they will support another candidate. The party refused to budge. So they said, okay, they have gone. So they are now supporting other candidates of other parties. Of course, the result come 18th November is very obvious, where PDP will come.
You mean the PDP has no hope?
There is no hope
Of winning Anambra?
It will not happen. There is no way, because the PDP people have left the party from Wike and co. So these are the sort of things we, the progressives in the PDP, saw.
Yes.
And said, okay, we are putting our heads together, we are discussing, and then we are positioning ourselves. Where we find ourselves, we will have a say and we will be heard. And let me also tell you this, we can't continue like that. This country, we must open our eyes. There are people we cannot allow to take over power again, controlling this country. They will put us in a bigger mess than we are in now. Let me tell you something about this government. The economy might have gone down. Things very difficult. But things must get worse for it to get better. And Nigerians are now beginning to look inward. How many parents now are now sending their children overseas again? They have stopped that. We were losing a lot of money. Yes, I believe and I do know that no amount of money is too much to pay for a child's
education, yes.
However, if you have the quality education here, or the one that is even better here, you better patronize it than for us to waste our foreign exchange. Some persons used to jump to London every weekend in first class. Today, they are looking for money even for economy. Once in a year, they don't have it. What the president has done, what he's been doing, as far as this anti-corruption crusade is concerned, is very laudable. It will help us to reposition this country. If we tackle corruption properly, we will now have funds to tackle infrastructural development. We'll have funds to improve on our education. We'll have funds to help with food security.
Yes.
We'll have funds to help with housing and accommodation. Human beings, what do we need? Just
those are the things.
Those are the things we need. We don't need to go to the moon to be happy. These are the extravagant things. These are things that we don't actually need. And any government that can provide these things will do very well. If the leakages in government, in governance, if the stealing, the corruption is stopped, then there will be enough to develop Nigerians. There will be enough for Nigerians to now beat their chest, their hand on their chest and say, yes, indeed, I'm a Nigerian, and my government is good.
You don't think the corruption war is lopsided? You know, critics of this administration think that when it comes to members of the president's own political party or his political friends, they don't see that kind of action against them as far as corruption, the war is concerned. But it looks like the war is harder when it involves people from opposition parties.
You see, it is the luck of the unjust to see someone to suffer with. What do you want them to say? To praise the president that he's doing well? They wouldn't do that. That means convicting themselves. Of course, that's the best they can do. Yes. That's the best defense they can give.
But you didn't answer my question.
Yes.
Was the APC ever behind the sheriff faction? Were they funding the faction in any way? Was the APC involved in fueling that factionalization of the PDP?
No. What fueled the resilience and the conviction of the sheriff faction of the PDP is personal interest and personal conviction. I'm here today. You are going to now show me to the world?
Yes.
Did I give you 1 penny?
No.
Did APC pay you money to call me? And that's how it has been. These things are very easy. These things are very easy.
Join us again after the break.
Nice question.
Angela, that's a great question.
It's a good question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
That is a serious question. Angela, that is a very great question. Great question, Angela.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Angela, that's a tough one for me.
That's a good question. Good question.
I love to ask questions. I think it's what I do best. You see, I think that the fastest way to learn anything is to ask questions. The right questions. Questions that help you get to the heart of the matter.
60 Minutes with Angela. Gain answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, it's 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ojougboh. On my hot seat today, Dr. Cairo Ojougboh, new member of the APC in Delta State. I like to say that.
Yes.
You know, you took, they say, over 14,000 people
Yes.
with you to the APC. So will you be attempting the governorship seat in 2019? Will you be a threat, for instance, to Tega Emero, assuming that he still wants to be governor? Are you interested in the governorship seat?
No. But let me quickly say this.
Yes.
The APC is the fastest growing party in Africa. Right now, it is going to become the biggest party in Africa in 2019.
How do you arrive at that?
Okay. The structure in Nigeria,
Yes.
as we speak, you have 25 governors. By the grace of God, if they win Anambra, it will become 26. When they win Ekiti, because I can assure you they will win Ekiti, it will become 27. You understand?
Yes.
And for each of these states where they now control, they will be in a position to have structures in all the wards in this local government, and then the wards. Then the ones controlled by PDP, by the grace of God, they also invade it, like in Delta. And where the APC used to lag behind before, will now be adjusted. Because the party will be in a position to field candidates in every constituency in the whole country. And because of the love the people have, and because they don't want to see this group of persons who put this country in this mess come back, people will now key in more into the APC. And that's why you see that the APC every day, yes, no matter what the criticism, no matter what you want them to believe, the party is going up and up and up. So back to your question. I'm a builder. When I joined the APC, the elders committee in Delta looked at me and said, Dr. Cairo, we need to coordinate our media. We want you to do it. I said, very well. I took up the challenge. One of my critics, he told me that after being the national vice chairman of a party, yeah, after being this, you are now the coordinator of media. I looked at him, I laughed. I said, these people, they don't understand politics.
He thinks media job is too small.
It's too small. But he has forgotten that little drops of water makes the mighty ocean. He has forgotten that if you cannot serve, you will not be served. Jesus Christ says so in the Bible. He said, he who will be the greatest will be the smallest. He said, you will be the last. If you want to be the first, you have to be the last. I believe in working and building. Any responsibility that my party gives me, the party looks at you and says, look, this is. When I became the national vice chairman of PDP, I didn't contest for it. I wasn't
lobby for it.
I didn't lobby for it. I was given. They said, look, you can do the job. And I didn't disappoint. When the president appointed me the senior liaison officer to the president, I never lobbied for it because the system knew that I have good rapport with the National Assembly. And when we ran that position, myself and the Abaji,
yes,
it was a beauty to behold. Because we didn't never have problem with the National Assembly. And we worked in such a way that everybody was happy. The president was happy, National Assembly was happy. So also it is in APC now. Any assignment the party gives me, I do it. And I am very happy to say I am very happy in APC.
You are very happy in APC.
Yes.
Yes, but you know that we've now seen that an incumbent can be defeated. Goodluck Jonathan was defeated in 2015. In Delta State, Governor Okowa had 724,680 votes. The APC came third in that election with 67,825 votes. Today, the APC has Great Ojougboh, who came second in that election. It also has Victor Uche, who was the former speaker. And like the National Party, the APC has souls from Accord Party, from Labour Party, from AD, Alliance for Democracy, and even from the PDP. To me, it looks like factions again within the APC. Lack of unity within the APC isn't serving the APC well as we speak today.
No, we have passed that stage. Let me take this liberty to also explain it.
Yes.
There's no faction in the APC in Delta. None. Everybody is keyed into the official APC structure led by Prophet Jones. He's our party chairman.
Yes, that's Urwe
Jones. He's our party chairman. We all met and we all agreed that we need to cover the whole state. And so we need branches to be able to carry our people along. You have different compartments in the APC. You have the MDA, you have the Light of APC, you have the Unity Group, you have the Sheriff APC, you have all of them. Every day in Delta State, there is political activity in one ward or local government of the APC. It is a huge machine that is grinding forward and moving to victory in 2019.
Won't there be clash of egos?
No, it's been decided. When the party congresses come, the party congresses will be handled free and free voting. When the Guba congresses come, it will still be the same. Nobody will be a sacred cow. Everybody must participate. Everybody must be given their due attention. Everybody must be given their due respect. Because we want to win. And behold, it's a low-hanging fruit for the APC in Delta State.
Why do you say it's a low-hanging fruit? Traditionally, Delta State has always been PDP. I read out the figures now from the elections. The gap between
You
Ojougboh...
have also explained it. Who are the people who contributed to those votes? Where are they today? I like your interview. I like you to be interviewing me. Now, let me also digress a little bit. You see, the movement has started.
Yes.
Those states that used to be the traditional home of PDP is already in APC. Delta is neighbor, of course. You will see what will happen. The South South will go APC.
You have also accused the governor of Ojougboh on issues of accountability. You said he signed a blank budget. The budget was signed in March 2017. What is a blank budget?
Very good. Now, the budget is an act of parliament. What the governor did was this. Take a 2-page paper like this.
Yes.
And then you read through it. Say, this is my budget, blah, blah, blah. Ministry of Works, you allocate 50 billion.
Yes.
Ministry of this 100 billion.
Yes.
The total 290 billion.
Yes.
Now, for that budget to become a budget, you need to break it down. For instance, 50 billion given to the Ministry of Works.
The details.
The details. That is the budget. The other one, the sectorial allocation is nothing.
It's just a summary.
It's just a summary.
So when you say, oh, I will use 50 billion for education, the 10 million for this,
exactly.
That's a summary.
It's just a summary. It does not tell you anything about the budget. It is inside that summary. You cannot study the budget and say, this is what this budget can achieve. You cannot say, okay, this is budget of recovery if you want to pay past debt. Or you can say, okay, this is the budget infrastructural development. You now put more money in roads and infrastructure, depending on where you want to be. You have to have an economic policy to run a state.
Yes.
You have to have plan. You have to have focus. Now, those details were not included. And no commissioner ever went to defend the budget in the House of Assembly for these 2 years.
How come nobody knows and you know this?
It is still the same members who came to us to say, look, this is what's happening in the body politic.
Why can't
and then one member asked a question, they suspended him for 3 months.
From the House?
From the House. And of course, it's our duty as opposition to raise these issues. Do you know what they call it now in Delta? They call it Dr. Cairo effect, Ojougboh effect. I'm telling you, let me show you what is going on in Delta State, because at times it's good to look at these things. There is a gentleman. His name is Jenkins Duve Guade. This is a Supreme Court judgment that he procured from the Supreme Court. He was a PDP member. He contested the election and won. The party said they don't like him, impunity. They removed him. So he went to the court, said, look, he is the candidate.
And he won.
And he won. The Supreme Court agreed that he's a candidate. So he resumed. They said they suspended him for no reason.
From the House?
From the House. The governor said he would never accept him. So the boy now said, look, it's my job, I'm doing my job, you suspended me, pay me my money. He said no, they will not pay him. So he went to court and he got court judgment. So he now garnished the House account. Had the garnishing order in the House account. So they say over their dead body, Ojougboh is Lord of the mighty, of the manor. He is above human beings. You can't question him. So his order is that he cannot pay. He will not pay the boy. So the boy had a garnishing order. So any money that enters into the account of the House of Assembly, the court will hold it for the boy. So they say, no, okay. Since it's like that, Speaker, bring your name. Give us your account. They started paying the money, subvention made for the House. They pay it into the Speaker's account.
Personal account.
Personal account.
Are you sure about these things you are saying?
Madam, I wept when I saw it. You know what I did? Because these are incidents, the things that happen in Delta.
Yes.
I was not very touched. I remember the Anglican Primate of Nigeria. I wrote him a letter. Where is it? Ray, Honorable Jenkins Duve Guade, the Delta State House of Assembly, and Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa and other matters related.
Yes.
Your Eminence, I explained it to His Eminence. What is going on? When we told them that they must pay this money, you know what they did? They now said, okay. They opened another account 2 weeks ago with private account.
Yes.
The accountant of the State House of Assembly and the clerk of the State House of Assembly. Yeah. They don't pay money into the State House of Assembly account. What does it take to pay this gentleman after the court has decided? And you, as a governor, you're a product of court judgment. And people respected the court to make you governor. And yet people got their judgment from the court. The Honorable Jenkins, imagine what he's suffering. Madam, you are a mother. Put yourself in his shoes. These are the things we argue for and we fight for. I am not fighting for myself. All I'm saying is do the correct thing. Madam, you're a woman. How many kids you have? 2. Thank God for you. Imagine that you are one of those women having babies in Ojougboh General Hospital, in Warri General Hospital, in the night with candlelight. Imagine that doctors have to do a cesarean section in the night with candlelight. And look at the number of lives, look at the problems we're having in Delta. All we are saying, please, Mr. Governor, come out and work. I give you another example. Ojougboh, before he left office, employed about 1,700 persons from grade levels 1 to 8. What is the salary? Minimum wage 18,000. 18,000. For the graduates, about 45, 50,000. That's what these people earn. There are doctors inside. There are lawyers inside. Okowa assumed office, sacked all of them.
Why?
He said it is not sustainable. What is the total amount to pay these people? These 1,700 people, less than 60 million in a year. The next day, he employed 2,203 political aides. Each of them, they earn 250,000 naira monthly. They don't have offices. They don't go to work. They don't report to anybody.
Where do they hang if they don't have offices?
They just stay at home, he pays them. What is he keeping them for, madam? For political violence, so that they can be his thugs in 2019. His commissioner for finance, David came out and said so. It's not me. He said so. And they earn 250,000 naira
a month.
A month. Multiplied by 2,203. Now, human beings that were earning 18,000, 45,000, he removed them. Madam, there is God, though.
Let me tell you what he said in response to your accusation that he signed a blank budget.
Yes.
He says your comments are stupid and unintelligent, and then the Delta State government also said you are noted for being a false alarmist. Those were their reactions.
And let me give you instances where I have fought corruption.
Yes.
The Centenary City.
So we'll come to that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Paris Club reform.
Yes.
Across many states, we've heard many stories. The governor who is building a hotel in Lagos with $3 million. What is the situation in Delta State? Is Delta State owing salaries? Because we know that about 24 states of the Federation can't pay salaries. Is Delta State one of those owing salaries? And how has it spent its Paris Club refund?
Since the inception of this Okowa's government, Okowa has received close to 1 trillion naira. Close to 1 trillion. Monthly federal allocation. Last month he got 14 billion. Paris Club, subventions, bailout funds, IGR, which is one of the highest in the country, and all manner of assistance that he has gotten. When we started our campaign to educate Deltans what was happening, before then, the pensioners, they were on the street every day in Asaba. They wanted their money. We now opened up and said, look, Governor, you must address this thing, because this money has been given to you. They came out and said, oh, they have paid the pensioners. Pensioners say no. That what he released was 300 million out of 38 billion given to him. The civil servants, if you protest, they sack you. The teachers, if you protest or you write petition, they sack you. So they are intimidated. But the pensioners, they are already out of work, so they can talk. They are talking. As we speak, salaries that primary school teachers are owing, or of course, like 2-3 years, go and find out. Local government employees, they are not paid. The civil servants that are not paid, where is the money? Where is the money? You know where the money is? The money is waiting for 2019. And we are praying to God. That's why I wrote to the primate. I said, primate, please touch this man's heart. Because 1 year is a long time in the life of a human being. For somebody who is sick, irreparable damages can be done. Let this man run a government. No, that's all we're saying. Run a good government. Nobody is telling him anything. Nobody wants anything from him. Look, pay salary to workers. Look at Omar today. Took a whole page in the newspapers to call on him too. I can read to you what I read here to the primate. What is my interest? At my age, 58, what am I looking for? The truth. Because I'm closer home. I'm closer home to my God. If I can't speak the truth today, when am I going to speak it? When I'm dead? Now, the youth, they need jobs. Don't make them be subburdened. Don't convert them into criminality by preparing them to fight and harm people and snatch ballot buses and become violent during an election. That's what you are preparing them for. It is unfair. When you know too well that after paying them this huge amount of money and then you leave office or you get your second term, because one of the commissioners asked him, Your Excellency, this money you are paying to these people, 250, can you sustain it? He said, no, it's just for this first term. That once I get my second term, I'm not going to pay them again. That was how the Niger Delta crisis started. Shell and Co. They will employ casual laborers. They will employ Nigerians. After paying them big money, 2 years, 3 years, you lay them off. Meanwhile, you have trained them. You have shown them where the pipelines are.
Yes.
You have shown them where how to use spanner.
And they've tested the good life.
They have tested the good life. And then they know that, according to them, because when they say come and do something, they say it's in the pipeline. Okay, they went to look at the pipeline. That's how they started busting pipes. That's the same thing His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, is preparing. You are paying people 250,000 naira monthly, illiterates. They have no job, they're at home. Some of them are now breeding children at a very serious rate. A lot of them are now playing lotto because he has established lotto, but they are now gamblers. So they now live a exorbitant life because that's a lot of money for those people. Now, with this plenty money, the moment you stop paying them after your second term, they are going to turn to criminals because you have not actually developed them. You're just giving them a piece of cake, and then they develop the taste. And now they begin to crave, and that is how we are going to run into problem in Delta. All we are saying is run a government. Run a government, that's all.
Join us again after the break. Welcome back. My concluding moments now with Dr. Cairo Ojougboh. Governor Okowa's government says that they've created over 40,000 jobs through microcredit schemes, agricultural initiatives, STEP, PPSP, YAGEP, whatever all those things mean, I don't know. But surely if these are training programs and they exist, these are things that can be proven. Do they exist?
Madam, you see, well, let me again start that. Let me try and explain it to you again.
Yes.
There's something he started. For the record, first of all, let us start. Let us take it this way. There are 1.6 million unemployed youths in Delta.
How do you know that?
Statistics.
Okay.
Statistics. 1.6. And he's talking about 50,000. He was on television, and then he told them that he has empowered 50,000 people. They now asked him, out of 1.6 people, he said, hey, he has just started. In any case, the 50,000 people that he said is even non-existent. He now started a certain program, and he said he gives them starter pack. It's a federal government project, actually. It's not his own. There's counterpart funding.
Yes.
From the federal government. Now, what he did, as usual, he's so selfish. He took his tribe, his small clan people. Those were the ones that got the starter pack. The rest are buying it. That is, the people that were trained to get it didn't get it. His coordinators for the program, they now take it home, and then they start to sell it. And so the project is nowhere. There's nobody. Have you seen any person from Delta? They said, okay, Yabev or whatever he called that, this is their product. It's not existent. It's nothing.
So it's all on paper.
It's all on paper. And it's all fraud. Because it's all dupe work. The people, let me explain it again.
Yes.
Like the coordinator, what's that young man's name? This young man, what's your name? Theophilus. Supposing Theophilus is one of these coordinators, okay, Theophilus, take this 50,000 starter pack. Okay, very good. He will go to his office. They will now call Mr. Afonsus. He say, yes, sir. So you want starter pack? Okay, this 50,000. Go and bring your 50,000. They started selling it. So even the people that were trained didn't get. It's the people who could produce the 50,000 that got.
That got it.
This is Nigeria. This is a state where I, Dr. Cairo, Ojougboh, where I come from. I will not keep quiet.
Let me take you back now to the Centenary City scam. You know, in 2015, as I think just after President Buhari came into office, you wrote to him to look at that scam. Yes, you said it was to cost 1.2 billion naira, but the federal government would lose $4 billion. Is that project still on?
I don't know, but I don't think so. Because, one, the National Assembly looked into it and said it's a fraud and directed the FCT to return the land to the original people.
What do they mean it's a fraud? How can it be a fraud? If you are selling plots of land to somebody, you know, I have these hectares and I'm selling land to you, to him, you know, everybody take. How is that a fraud?
Okay, let me just give you a very simple example.
Yes.
This house now is on a plot of land.
Yes.
Supposing this land has been given to you. Are you following me?
Yes.
You have your CFO, you have all your documents. Then tomorrow government now comes. And then they now join all the land around here and then give it to one person. That was what happened there. But that land on that project has already been given to people before, including a military installation that was there that was moved at the cost of 2 billion out of that site.
To accommodate this
city, yes. Now, the promoters went to court. The court said no, that the National Assembly is right. The judgment is there, and gave judgment to that project is illegal, and that they should retrieve the land. I want to believe that something is being done about it. I don't carry rumor. I was the chairman of NEBSA. As chairman of NEBSA, NEBSA is the body that regulates and manages free zones, in free industrial zones for the country. Now, this entity was made a free zone. That was how we got interested. We didn't know about it. I was watching TV when I saw this current Senator Dilum Malai demonstrating against me that I have gone to connive with the promoters to make it a free zone. The following day, I received a petition. So we called a board meeting. And at the board meeting, there was no time that we discussed it. And that we did not approve it. So we wrote the president to tell him. Of course, then Anyan was the SGF. Yes. He said we didn't have the authority to that he was the government. I said, no, you're not the government. We'll put our feet down. That's how this country must move forward. Don't look for bribe. Don't ask for anything. Do your work. Let me tell you, when I was the chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Resources, you see this thing today that they call the Petroleum Industries Bill. It's a product of my research. I did a comprehensive overhaul of the Petroleum Act, and it passed in the House of Reps. Unfortunately, the Senate didn't pass it. And what were we looking for? How to develop the Nigerian oil industry. You see, all the crisis we're having today is based on something. Local refining. We don't have it. When I started it, the international oil companies, they all came after me. Look, I said, no. We can, Singapore, they're one of the biggest exporters of refined products. They don't have one drop of crude
oil, no.
Then why are we giving them when we can refine our own here? And this is the question I've been asking the people running the oil industry. Why are we exporting crude? And look at, madam, do you know the biggest embarrassment of all? When Shell started exploring petrol and producing crude in Nigeria, they were never exporting crude. The first thing they did was to establish the refineries. They were all export refineries. The Port Harcourt refinery. They were refining, Shell was refining.
We were exporting finished products.
Finished products. And that's what we need. The remaining years we have in the life of this petrol that might be about between 20 to 35 years, that is what we should concentrate on. That was what we succeeded in doing in the House of Representatives. What Nigerians don't know is this. The oil prospecting license, the oil mining licenses that they issue to this
OPL and OML,
they are all time spanned. And everything on the OML and OPL belongs to government. That's what the law says. So, if you now go and prospect for oil,
yes,
and they give you they convert your OPL to OML, in the first instance you have 10 years. After that 10 years, you have to ask for a renewal. Then what we did was to attach it. And then, after you have 5 years, refine 15%. After 10 years, refine 50%. After 20 years, refine 100%. Imagine the number of job opportunities that will be created in the Niger Delta. Imagine the horizontal and vertical industries that will come with that huge amount of industry. Yes. These were the things we were talking about. But unfortunately, it rolled out of our hand, and then that wasn't implemented. But, by and large, the only thing that will move Nigeria forward is the truth. And that's why I'm a soldier of truth. And look, Plato said it. He said, no man is hated than he who speaks the truth. Human beings don't like the truth.
Yes.
So you run a risk of being not liked. But so be it. If you are a soldier of truth, you will live to enjoy your life. You will live to be happy. You will live that the people who appreciate you are the downtrodden. The people who don't like you are the bourgeois, the high and mighty, yes, who live fake life, who pretend, who everything must be done for them. And when you tell them the truth, they get angry. So, Dr. Cairo Ojougboh, that is who I am.
I can't let you go without you clarifying the comment you made on Ekiti State. You said definitely APC will take Ekiti State. Governor Fayose is a grassroots man.
What grassroots?
And he's well loved by the people. You can see when he's riding the motorcycle around the state, they love him. And if he says, this man, I've raised his hand up, this is who I think should succeed me, you think the people won't listen?
Madam, you don't know the people on the streets. They're very intelligent. A lot of people underrate them. If there are things I can't say before national TV, maybe when we leave you, I can tell you. Yes. Because who are the people that make Fayose tick? All of them are against him today. The people who ordinarily deliver. Senator Biodo, Dayo, all of them. Adeyeye, all of them. Madam Ekiti is, you'll be very, look, it's an APC state. That I can assure you. There's no way Fayose can win Ekiti. It will not happen.
So you're predicting APC in Ekiti, predicting APC in Anambra?
But let me tell you, if you see those 2,000 people who can come and be hailing Fayose, give them 5,000, how much does that? And then they will come and hail now and clap and go. If you ask them to vote there where they are clapping, they will vote against him. He will lose. Those people follow him and clapping. Madam is a governor. If you're not a governor like this, even you TV, if they see you on the road, that's why you see the movie stars, they can't walk the street. People will mob them. Madam, politics. It's not like that though. You just forget it. It's not like that at all. It's not like that. It's a different kettle of fish. Once you see that thing that they call ballot paper,
yes,
it is the power of the individual. And they don't joke with it if you give them the right to exercise their franchise. What they will do for you with it, you'll be very surprised. You think you stop, you're going to eat a bole with people, you think you're popular. No. You're a governor now, you are coming. People see you with a lot of cars. They now see you gathered somewhere. Then you are stopping to buy bole. Of course, they want to see you now because they see you on TV. They come and join you and then eat bole food. If you think that this is how to win, no. When you live there, they do to you what you least expect. So wait till you see the result. It's coming. Early next year here.
In conclusion now, the Ibori factor that everyone talks about in Delta State, is it still important? Is Ibori still relevant in Delta politics?
Of course, Ibori is a politician. He must be relevant.
Is he still the kingmaker?
Yes, he can still make the king. It's still possible. He's a kingmaker. He's a king. He's a king. But let me tell you, he on his own can only be in one ballot.
One vote.
One vote. So he has a lot of people. You know?
Yes.
Is
he on the same page with the governor today? Are they still allies?
Oh, no, I don't know. That I can't answer.
Okay.
I can't answer because.
But is he still in the PDP?
Well, I have not seen. I have not heard him make any political statement.
Okay.
Yes, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
But the APC is not looking to him. Are you reaching out to him?
We are reaching out to everybody. Well, we will be very happy if he comes to APC. If he says he's not APC man,
Yes.
we'll welcome him. In fact, we'll roll out the drums and the red carpet for him. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Ojougboh, for coming on the program with me today.
Thank you. You are most kind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Angela Ajetumobi.